What if I told you that right now, at this exact moment, you're sitting on a kind of power that even kings and emperors would envy? Not the kind of power that comes from armies, money, or influence, but a power so deep, so unshakable, that nothing, not even life's worst storms, can take it away. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest philosopher kings, called it the fortress within. And here's the secret. You already have it. Most people never learn how to use it. But once you do, you stop being a prisoner to fear, doubt, and overthinking. So, before we begin, take a second, hit subscribe, because what we're about to uncover might just change the way you see yourself forever. Section 1. The power you forgot you have. Marcus Aurelius didn't live an easy life. He ruled an empire at war, faced betrayal from friends, buried children, and endured constant sickness. And yet, he wrote words that sound almost unshakable. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. We tend to think power means control over the world around us. Money in the bank, influence over others, the ability to make things happen. But Marcus flips that idea upside down. He's saying the real power is the ability to stay calm when everything outside you falls apart. Think about it. The richest person can still be miserable. The strongest warrior can still be afraid. But the one who rules their own mind? That's a person no one can conquer. The Stoics understood that your mind is your kingdom. Every thought you choose, every meaning you give to what happens, every emotion you allow or reject, that's you exercising your hidden power. The problem is, most of us have handed over that power without even realizing it. We let strangers on the internet decide our mood. We let the economy decide our hope. We let failure decide our worth. Marcus would tell you, take it back. Section 2. Marcus Aurelius' hidden formula for inner power. Marcus Aurelius wasn't born into weakness. He was born into unimaginable pressure. As the Emperor of Rome, his every move was watched, judged, and criticized. Imagine living your life where one wrong word could cause rebellion. One wrong decision could destroy an empire. The average person would crumble under that kind of stress, but Marcus didn't. Why? Because he mastered a hidden formula for inner power. One that has nothing to do with wealth, status, or brute strength. His power came from mastering his own mind. In Meditations, Marcus reminds himself, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That's not just poetic, it's a blueprint. Most people spend their entire lives chasing things outside their control. Other people's opinions, market trends, opportunities, relationships. And when those things shift, as they always do, they feel powerless. Marcus understood the opposite. The world can rage like a storm, but if your inner compass stays fixed, you remain untouchable. Think of it this way. The strongest fortress in the world isn't made of stone, it's made of disciplined thoughts. If someone insults you, you can either hand over your peace or guard it like a king guards his crown. If life throws unexpected chaos at you, you can either panic and lose control or stand firm like a mountain against the wind. Marcus' hidden formula was about narrowing his circle of concern until it included only what was truly his to control. His actions, his choices, his reactions. Everything else? Background noise. And here's the part most people miss. Marcus didn't suppress his emotions, he trained them. Anger? A signal that he cared too much about something outside his control. Fear? A reminder that the future is unknowable and not worth obsessing over. Stress? Proof that he had stepped outside his mental boundaries. Every negative feeling became a teacher, pointing him back to the core truth. Your mind is your kingdom. Rule it well. This doesn't mean you stop caring about the world. It means you stop letting it rule you. Marcus faced wars, plagues, and betrayal. Yet he met them with the same calm you and I might reserve for waiting in line at the store. Why? Because he had rehearsed over and over the idea that nothing could touch his inner state unless he allowed it. If you want that same power, start practicing this daily. The moment something rattles you, ask yourself, is this within my control? If yes, act. If no, let it pass. This simple habit, repeated, will make you unshakable in a world that thrives on shaking you. Marcus Aurelius wasn't just a ruler of Rome. He was a ruler of himself. And that, more than armies or gold, is the real source of power. Once you master this, you'll stop living at the mercy of life's storms and start walking through them like they were nothing but a breeze. Section 3. The Power of Choice. Marcus Aurelius on owning your mind. Marcus Aurelius believed that the greatest power any human could ever possess was not control over armies, wealth, or the opinions of others. It was control over their own mind. In his meditations, he reminds himself daily, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This single truth is a Stoic cornerstone, and it's the antidote to the powerlessness many people feel today. Because let's face it, most of our anxiety, frustration, and fear doesn't come from the events themselves, but from the way we interpret them. Two people can face the same storm, but one will curse the rain while the other will plant seeds in the wet soil. The difference isn't in the weather, it's in the mindset. Marcus knew that life would never be free from challenges. The Roman Empire itself was constantly under threat. Barbarian invasions, political conspiracies, economic instability. But to him, those were simply external variables beyond his command. What mattered was how he chose to respond. And that's the Stoic trick. You can't always control the world, but you can always choose your reaction to it. Think about your own life. Every day, there's an endless list of things you can't control. Traffic, weather, other people's opinions, unexpected bills, even your own emotions when they first arise. But here's the liberating truth. You don't need to control them. Your real power lies in deciding what you will do next. If someone insults you, you can either give them free rent in your head for the next week, or you can recognize their words as just noise and move on. If plans fall apart, you can either panic or adapt. This is what Marcus trained himself to do. Pause, breathe, and choose the response that aligned with his values, not his impulses. That's real strength. And when you live this way, something powerful happens. The world stops feeling like an unpredictable battlefield and starts feeling like a training ground. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to practice mastery over yourself. When you realize the power of choice, you stop being a victim of circumstance. You stop saying, "This ruined my day," and start saying, "This tested my strength." You stop believing that happiness is something the outside world must hand to you, and start building it within. Marcus Aurelius understood that the man who owns his mind owns his life. And you, yes you, have that same power right now. You just have to start using it. Section 4. Turning inner strength into unstoppable action. It's one thing to recognize that you have immense inner power. It's another to actually use it to change your life. Marcus Aurelius didn't write his meditations so they could sit in a book collecting dust. He wrote them as practical reminders to act. He knew that wisdom without action is like a sword left sheathed during battle. It might look impressive, but it's useless when the moment comes. This is where many people today fall short. They read motivational quotes, watch inspiring videos, and feel a spark, but they don't follow through. Stoicism teaches us that real change happens in the doing, not just the thinking. If you truly believed you were more powerful than you think, you wouldn't hesitate when opportunity knocked. You wouldn't let fear talk you out of starting that business, having that difficult conversation, or breaking free from toxic habits. You'd understand that the discomfort of action is temporary, but the regret of inaction can last a lifetime. Marcus understood this deeply. In his writings, he often reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The strength he's talking about isn't loud or flashy. It's quiet, disciplined, and unshakable. The real test of your power comes in everyday moments. Waking up early to work on your goals when you'd rather stay in bed. That's power. Choosing not to respond in anger when someone provokes you. That's power. Sticking to your values even when the world tempts you to compromise. That's power. You don't need to wait for a big, dramatic life event to prove your strength. Every small decision is a chance to train your mind and reinforce the belief that you are capable of far more than you think. Marcus Aurelius didn't have the luxury of a perfect life. He ruled an empire plagued with wars, plagues, and political betrayal. Yet he didn't crumble under the weight of his challenges. He used them as fuel. He saw every hardship as an opportunity to practice virtue, to sharpen his resilience, and to strengthen his spirit. And that's exactly what you must do. Instead of avoiding life's difficulties, lean into them. Ask yourself, how can this situation make me stronger? That single shift in thinking turns problems into training grounds for greatness. The moment you start living this way, you'll notice something powerful. You stop waiting for the right time to be the person you want to be. You realize that this is the right time, right now. Every challenge, every frustration, every obstacle is your arena. And the more you step into it, the more you'll see that Marcus was right all along. You are far stronger than you give yourself credit for. Section 5. Turning philosophy into power. Living as Marcus Aurelius intended, 500 words. The real test of Stoic wisdom is not in how many quotes you can memorize or how many books you've read. It's in how you live when life throws its hardest punches. Marcus Aurelius didn't just write beautiful thoughts in meditations for poetic value. He wrote them as battlefield notes for the mind. Every principle he lived by was tested in the chaos of war, in the betrayal of allies, in the grief of losing children, and in the burden of ruling an empire. He faced all this without losing himself. And that's exactly what you must learn to do. The first step is radical self-command. Marcus taught that your mind is the only thing you truly own. External events, whether they are insults, financial losses, failures, or the opinions of others, do not have power unless you hand it to them. Every time you let someone's words ruin your mood, or a minor setback derail your day, you're giving away a piece of your sovereignty. The Stoic way is to reclaim that sovereignty. Start by catching yourself in those moments. Pause, breathe, and remember, this is within my power to control. The second step is living by principles, not feelings. Emotions are waves. They rise and fall, sometimes crashing with force. But principles, courage, justice, temperance, wisdom, are like lighthouses. They stand unmoved in the storm. Marcus Aurelius didn't ask, "How do I feel about this situation?" He asked, "What is the right thing to do here?" And that's the mental shift that separates a strong mind from a fragile one. The third step is turning obstacles into fuel. Marcus famously wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Instead of seeing problems as barriers, see them as the raw material for growth. A difficult coworker? Practice patience. A financial setback? Practice resourcefulness. A health challenge? Practice resilience. Every obstacle is training, if you choose to see it that way. Lastly, Stoic power is quiet power. It's not about dominance or shouting louder than others. It's about mastering yourself so completely that nothing external can shake your core. This is why Marcus was respected not just as an emperor, but as a human being, because he ruled himself before he ruled Rome. Today, you have more distractions, temptations, and noise than Marcus Aurelius could have imagined. but the principles that made him unshakable still work, if you live them. Remember, you are more powerful than you think, because your power isn't measured by what you control in the world. It's measured by what you control within. And when you begin to live this way, something changes. You stop overreacting. You stop fearing the future. You stop doubting your worth. Instead, you start moving through life with the calm confidence of someone who knows they are the master of their own mind. That is Stoic power, and it's yours for the taking. So, here's the truth. You're capable of more than you've ever dared to imagine. But potential is nothing without action. If you found value in Marcus Aurelius's wisdom today, don't let it fade the moment this video ends. Take one Stoic principle you learned and apply it before the day is over. And if you want to keep sharpening your mind and building unshakable inner strength, make sure you subscribe and join this community of thinkers, doers, and warriors. Your journey to mastery isn't tomorrow. It's now. Let's walk this path together.